The tropical rainforests of the northeastern coast of Australia are one of the oldest forests on Earth. They are so extraordinary that they have been declared a World Heritage Area. And in these forests, there still roams an ancient and mysterious creature. Australia's southern cassowary is in trouble.
So what is a cassowary? A cassowary is a ratite, which are morphologically different than birds as they lack a keel and have lost their ability to fly, only retaining vestigial wings. Cassowaries belong to the genus Cassowary. Their closest taxa group is the emu and is distantly related to the moa, which are also members of the ratite clade. There are 3 species of cassowaries: the dwarf cassowary, the northern cassowary, and the southern cassowary, which will be the focus of today's discussion. Cassowaries are native to the tropical forests of New Guinea and northeastern Australia. Because of their unique characteristics, potentially dangerous features, and their fearsome nature to protect their territory and their young, cassowaries have become a pop culture icon in much of Australia and New Guinea. Although pop culture references may overstate the bloodthirstiness of the cassowary, they are primarily frugivores, swallowing fruit whole, even large fruits like bananas and apples. Seeds are passed in large, dense scats, which will then later germinate. While trees are dropping fruit, cassowaries will come in and feed. Each bird will defend the tree during this time and then move on when the fruit is depleted. Cassowaries are a keystone species and have been referred to as the guardians of the rainforest, as they are responsible for the dispersal of up to 84% of all seed distribution over 150 rainforest plants, especially large fruit species. To further understand the impact cassowaries have on native and invasive species, we chose to investigate the research paper Cassowary Dispersal of the Invasive Pond Apple in a Tropical Rainforest. This paper focuses on 1. The impact that cassowaries have on seed dispersal distance, and 2. The impact of gut passage on germination.
The study focused on feeding captive cassowaries and monitoring the timing of their droppings to correlate that against typical cassowary foraging patterns that indicate how far a cassowary travels during a normal foraging session. In total, 1,512 seeds were found in the droppings, and a plot was created crossing the gut passage time against the total percent of seeds. The average gut passage time was 180 minutes, and about 65% of seeds were passed between 90 and 240 minutes. The researchers then compared the ingestion time against the distance a cassowary would normally travel during that period. The dispersal distance was found to be between 39 and 17,000 feet. That's 3.2 miles. The mean distance was a third of a mile, and still a lot farther than I've ever seen a seed walk.
In order to measure the impact the gut passage had on seed germination, the researchers compared 4 different groupings. Half of the group focused on whole fruit specimens, while the other 2 groups focused on individual seed specimens. These 2 groups were then further divided into specimens that did not have dung attached and those that did have dung attached, or as the researchers like to call it, dung fruit. That's right, dung fruit. So how does the dung fruit fare? Overall, the whole dung-free fruit, indicated by the black dotted line, germinated the fastest at an average of 50 days, while its dung clump counterpart germinated the slowest at 300 days, indicated by the gray dotted line. As far as the 2 individual seed specimens fared, indicated by the solid lines, it was found that passage through the frugivore's gut enhanced germination rate or probability in about 50% of the cases, while the time to germination was about equal between the 2.
Okay, so a cassowary can carry a seed and its gut provides benefits for germination. So what's the big deal? The big deal is that cassowaries are a keystone species in these forests, therefore the flora relies on them for effective dispersal and improved germination success. Without dispersal assistance from the cassowary, seeds become too concentrated in one area and will smother each other out. Additionally, because of threats to its native diet due to increased cyclone destruction and loss of habitat, cassowaries are seeking alternative food sources which can have unintended consequences for any invasive species such as the pond apple, which are preferred by the cassowary because it provides a sufficient diet due to its high fruit yield. One of these species is the Cerbera floribunda, or the cassowary plum, which is poisonous to many animals but not the cassowary. This and 2 other Cerbera species make up the mangroves of northeastern territory of Australia. Mangroves provide breeding nurseries for a wide range of fish, crustaceans, and oyster species. Additionally, any terrestrial fauna such as insects, reptiles, frogs, birds, and mammals use mangroves for food, shelter, breeding, and feeding grounds. So the big deal is that more this keystone species habitat continues to decline, the more they will turn to alternative food sources, disrupting the natural balance of these beautiful rainforests, and the ripples will be felt throughout the ecosystem.